We on the grind, it's game time. Light shine, all eyes on the line. Every move, every play, we define. Hardy live, feeling prime. From the bench to the field, we climb. Champion rise, this our time. No fear, no limits, we prime. Bring the heat, watch it shine. This leg is on, we on grind. It's game time. Light shine, all eyes on the line. Every move, every play, we define. Heart be loud, feel the prime. From the bench to the field, we climb.
Welcome into Carroll High School for tonight's highly anticipated rivalry matchup between the Gophers of Clinton Prairie and the Cougars of Carroll High School. First game of our girls and boys doubleheader up first, with the ladies taking center stage. Tonight, our game is we're proud to shine a light on mental health awareness as part of the Stepping on Stigma campaign with the Healthy Communities of Clinton County. This initiative helps break down barriers, reduce stigma, and connect people with resources right here in our community. To learn more, visit healthyclintoncounty.org or call 765-659-6063. Alongside Kristen Hazley, my name is Rick Johnston, and Kristen, not only a great night for basketball here between Carroll and Clinton Prairie, but also a big night to raise awareness for mental health, not only in our community, but for everybody watching at home here as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got the t-shirts on tonight. You'll see the coaches with them on the bench as well. They say, stay, tomorrow needs you. And what an important message, especially featuring this doubleheader tonight. Tomorrow needs you, we need you, your family needs you. Slow down, think about your decisions, and reach out for help if you need it.
And if anybody at home does need help, you can see the number right behind you. Just call 988 and get that help that you need 24/7 anytime that you need it. Because as Krista said, stay, we need you here for tomorrow. Looking over at Clinton Prairie under the direction of fourth-year head coach Cale Morrison, they had a monumental victory on Tuesday night, their first one of the season. They defeated North White 44-41, avenged an earlier loss in the year. And Coach Morris, we asked him earlier today, we said, "Would you get any water dumped on it?" As we say everybody does now after a big win. He says, "No water was dumped." He goes, "Because me and the coaching staff waited outside the locker room for about 5 minutes, let the girls have their fun, and away we went." But, you know, Kristen, you've been able to see this Gopher club a lot here as of late. You and I were talking beforehand. They are really, really close to getting it going. They finally got over that hump on Tuesday night.
Yeah, and I'm a little jealous we didn't have the call for that one win because, like you said, we've had them throughout the season. And the game before that win, I thought they looked the best they had all season. They were playing with a lot of confidence. They were moving the ball quickly, and you just felt like something was clicking there. That was against Rossville, and they put up a good fight. So, you know, congratulations to Coach Morris, and he knows that he's building something for the future with this team, and it's fun to see how far they've come.
Today's pregame show presented by Day Again to Funeral Home, putting family first. You just had our first look, and it was brought to you by the Willow Creek Barn, where nature's beauty meets rustic elegance. On the other side for Carroll, they defeated Sheridan on Monday 50-34, but before that they had lost 3 in a row and 5 out of their last 6. We're into the home stretch here, the regular season, Kristen, and Carroll trying to get it right before sectionals get here.
Yeah, and this Carroll Cougars team knows it matters how you're playing going into the postseason, right? On a bit of a skid here, trying to right the ship, get that confidence back as they enter some of that sectional play and, you know, find that even balanced scoring attempt that they're used to on that offense.
The sectional draw comes up a week from Sunday. Both of these teams call Sectional 54 home. It'll be hosted by Bethesda Christian, so a potential sectional matchup preview on our hands here tonight. The last time these two teams met was in the sectional championship, with Carroll winning by 42-41. Let's quickly get to the keys of the game here for Kristen, brought to you by Tier 1 Meat Company.
Absolutely. Pressure points. Carroll is at its best when turnovers turn into scores. Number 2, win the glass. Carroll's length might be an advantage here, but this Clinton Prairie team racked up 9 offensive rebounds the last time out. They're going to have to keep Clinton Prairie off the offensive glass. And finally, number 3, the balanced scoring that we just mentioned for Carroll. If Carroll can get Saltz and Reinhardt going early, especially in the corner on some threes, that's going to force Clinton Prairie to shift things around a bit. They want to make someone else beat them.
Tonight's game the keys to victory brought to you by Tier 1 Meat Company, where every cut is elite and every customer is family. We'll break for the national anthem. Come back with the starting lineups and opening tip next here on the ISC Sports Network.
We've all heard the question, if a tree falls in the forest, does it make a sound? Honestly, we're not sure either. But what we do know is that if it falls in your yard, it usually leaves behind an unsightly stump that you'll be stuck mowing around. At JXN Stump Solutions, we'll get rid of that stump for good, and here's the best part. We offer free estimates, so you'll know the cost before the work begins. We deliver quality work from a professional, locally owned company with a commitment to leaving your property cleaner, safer, and stump-free. Contact us today at 242-9523. At JXN Stump Solutions, we're rooted in service and driven to remove.
I brought you a present. A book.
Follow the adventures of the Ardente Dental team as they fight cavities, gum disease, and create beautiful, healthy smiles.
Inconceivable!
Hello, my name is Dr. Snyder. You cause cavities. Prepare to die.
Inconceivable!
To make your smile look straight and fine, our braces per month are just $1.99.
Inconceivable!
You keep using that word, I do not think it means what you think it means.
Have fun at Ardente Dental.
At Wampler's Disposal and Recycling, we take pride in offering waste management for commercial and residential clients. As an industry leader, Wampler's Disposal and Recycling brings the most professional and responsive collection service in the business. Since 1948, our family-owned and operated company has provided excellent service at competitive rates. We offer container rentals as well. Our longevity in the industry is a testament to our excellent service. We serve all of Clinton, Tippecanoe, Boone, Howard, and Carroll counties. For all your waste removal needs, call Wampler Services Incorporated today. You can reach us at 765-659-3721. Visit us online at wamplerservicesinc.com.
Starting lineups tonight presented by Ardente Dental. Healthy smiles start here. And for the team trying to make it 2 wins in a row, the young ladies on the screen right there in the black uniforms tonight for Clinton Prairie. They'll try out their normal starting 5 that have been there the entire way this year for Kale Morris. Lily Coleman, their lone senior starter. She'll wear number 11 tonight. And then the next in a row, the 3 freshman starters here for the Gophers. Number 12, Emma Grant, who got hurt against Sheridan back in early December but is back to full song here. Leading scorer for the Gophers, the volleyball standout Emmy Kaser, number 22, 5'6" freshman. Number 23 is Clara Coleman. And the last starter is the sophomore Alexis Perez. She wears number 32, a youth movement this year for Clinton Prairie. But like we talked about in the open, Chris, and they're starting to find their rhythm in here in a big way.
Absolutely, and I mean, Clinton Prairie will keep that upset window open if they can limit some turnovers, try and find a manageable 3 quarters to take it into the 4th. And, you know, a team that is riding high off that wind and they have that competitive edge where they feel like they can compete with anyone right now.
They got back into the lab and back on the floor here tonight against Carroll. The Cougars come in 11-5. We mentioned Victoria's the last time out for 7th-year head coach Brady Wiles. They're 3-2 in the Hoosier Heartland Conference, currently tied for 3rd with Delphi, Tri-Central, and Sheridan. It's the half game back of 2nd place Clinton Central. So not only a rivalry matchup, a county matchup, but also a conference matchup tonight as well. You see the first starter out there for the Cougars, one of their lone freshman starter, that's Kinley Randall, averaging 8 points and 2 rebounds per game. Next up, the sophomore Maddie Isley, almost 10 points and 5 boards for the sophomore wearing number 4. Number 10 is Eliza Reinhardt, 10 points, 8 rebounds, one of their top rebounders and scorers on the year for the Cougars. Jillian Salt, 6-foot senior, averaging 14 points, 6 boards, and 2 assists a game to lead the way for the Cougars this year. And her senior classmate wearing number 21 is Olivia Schroeder, 5 points and 4 boards this year for the Cougar senior.
Yeah, it's a scary starting 5 for the Carroll Cougars when you talk about Jillian Saltz and Reinhardt. And Kinley Randall, the freshman, has really come into her own and is driving the ball into the paint with confidence from that point guard spot. Talk about, you know, a balanced attack that Clinton Prairie is going to have their hands full trying to limit tonight.
Our officials for tonight's contest are presented by Wampler's Disposal Service and Recycling, where recycling makes sense. It's Brad Groninger, Pat Dumoulin, and Rick Scott here tonight from Carroll High School. Cougars in the opening tip there in the home white. And driving right down the lane, losing her handle, was Isley. Gets tied up here with Clara Coleman, and the possession arrow sends it back, or sends it to the Gophers for the first time tonight.
Yeah, not surprising to see Clinton Prairie come out in that 3-2 zone that you saw them in. They like to play that zone because they feel confident in some of their post players to defend the board, but at the same time, and especially against a team like Carroll, you've got to guard the perimeter too.
Carroll going to a box and one, putting that lone defender on Kaser, and then they deflect the ball away, out of bounds, last touch by CP. So the two teams going away from the man-to-man here to start our ball game off tonight.
Yeah, and the defensive identity of Clinton Prairie has really come along. You know, Coach Morris said that was the biggest growth he's seen in this team from the beginning of the year to now is the speed, the physicality, and their ability to guard all 5 players on the court.
Clinton Prairie back in their zone defense. Carroll with their second crack at the basket to our right after Isley had the opening drive. She flashes down the paint there and off balance, able to put it home.
Well done there by Maddie Isley. Recognized the soft spot, and it was a well-timed pass there. They're going to have to be quick on the trigger if they're going to find those kinds of open passes against the zone.
And you can see the lone defender in Schroeder tracking Emmy Kaser's every move right there in the middle of your screen. So where else will the scoring come from tonight? CP had 3 in double figures against North White the other night. 3-point shot missed here, but the rebound putback falls off the rim by Coleman.
Yeah, and you saw one way right there early on for them to get points in that second chance opportunities. They did a nice job patrolling the offensive boards the last time out.
Reinhardt goes baseline, throws it up too strong, and Clinton Prairie with another opportunity to tie or take the lead here early on in the first. Coleman through the middle of that zone defense, throughout a triple team. Perez from straight away. You see Kaser acting as a screener, trying to usher her teammates closer to her, trying to get them free.
And you can already see the type of pressure that this Carroll defense will put on you, especially at the perimeter. So far, Clinton Prairie's doing a nice job of moving the ball quickly and confidently, which is something we haven't seen from them in the past.
Perez open for a straightaway 3, doesn't go, and Reinhardt goes full extension to haul in the miss. Isley weaves her way in, and she's got all 4 points of the ball game here so far.
And right there you see the stylistic competition that we're going to see tonight. Clinton Prairie on offense is going to take their time. They're going to work it around. They're going to try and take care of the ball and wear down Carroll on defense. And the other way, Carroll's trying to run and gun. If they can get easy points in transition, they will take them.
Isley right on cue and wave it off. A charging call has taken the charge. Underneath was Alexis Perez. And Kristen Isley made her idea up right about midcourt.
Yeah, and Isley knew she was going to the rim no matter what. It was a nice job by Alexis Perez just to slide in and completely cut that angle off. Referee calls the charge there, and that's one of the few defensive options you have if you're Clinton Prairie.
Gopher still looking for that first basket here tonight, again against the Island defense that they're putting their leading scorer Kaser on tonight. Perez from the corner. That's worth 3 points.
Big time shot there by Alexis Perez. She's known for being a bit of a streaky three-point shooter, but when she's on, she is on.
Starting setter from the volleyball team this year for Clinton Prairie. A lot of volleyball players making their way to the basketball court here this year as the youngsters for the Gophers. Reach and foul there on Clara Coleman, her first. Tonight's game brought to you by the Frankfurt Eagles, Post 976, serving our community since 1905. With over 900 members locally, the Frankfurt Eagles offer something for everyone. For more information on who they are and what they do, please visit FOE.com or stop by 408 North Main Street in Frankfurt.
Good sign early on for Carroll, as it looks like got a foul down low on Jillian Saltz, number 11. And that's one thing about this Carroll Cougars team is they've kind of got a decent height across the board. So some of these players that, you know, potentially the next level might only play one position will play multiple spots. You'll see Jillian Saltz post up, and you'll see Eliza Reinhardt, you know, take some three-point shots.
Freshman Randall cut off on the baseline. She steps out of bounds. Another good defensive possession here for Clinton Prairie as they look to take their first lead of the night as we approach the midway point of our opening stanza. Grant trying to do that with a three, just a little bit off target. And the lead pass too high for Randall to handle, goes off the back wall. And a couple little missteps here early on here from the Cougars have given Clinton Prairie some new life when it looks like the Cougars could have kind of stretched this lead out a little bit.
Yeah, and this is what Carroll does. You know, they like to play fast. You're going to see a few turnovers from that. That's just a byproduct of them playing aggressive, trying to get going quickly. You know, we did see a charge early on Maddie Isley, but that is their MO, is to try and get the ball forward and into the paint as quickly as possible.
Isley, you can identify her with that sleeve on her arm. Saltz. Ball pinballed around off the miss, and now it's Perez leading the charge for CP.
This is how Clinton Prairie will stay in these games, is playing a nice defensive stanza, and they don't give up a lot of offensive rebounds. They keep you to one and done, and if they can do that, they're going to stay step for step with Carroll tonight.
Grant with a nice mid-range jump shot, and it's 5 straight for the Gophers, and they take their first lead tonight. Isley going baseline on Lily Coleman. Threw it through the lane, finds the hands of a teammate. Schroeder off glass, right there Saltz, threw it off the bottom of the backboard. And here comes the Gophers the other way, riding high after their first win of the season just a couple of nights ago.
I love it. A big wall up there in the post by one of the smallest players, Lily Coleman. And Coach Gale recognized both Colemans earlier this week on a phone call, telling us they were really the almost heart of this team, really driving the rebounding effort, and 2 players that he couldn't do without this season.
Carroll fans not happy with the move with the foul called against Kinley Randall, the freshman for Carroll. Folks in the blue and white were hoping for a moving or an illegal screen set there by Clinton Prairie, but they will not get their wish. Audrey Richardson, the sophomore, on for the first time here for Carroll, along with Briley Springer making her first appearance at 0 and white. Kaser, the top scorer for Clinton Prairie, touching the ball for the first time here tonight, as Carroll's put pretty much a box and one around her this evening. Low pass wanted for Grant. Diving in was Elle Coleman. Held ball, possession arrow, going to the Cougars of Carroll.
And you see there both Emma Grant and Emmy Kaser. The key to this offense going is for them to get 2 feet in the paint, trying to find that angle, attack into that box and one, and make them collapse. Then they can kick it out. Last game out, we saw them struggle in the beginning from behind the arc, but I tell you what, they heated up in the second half, and the fact that they could already find those shots was a big advantage for the Gophers.
A long scoreless drought here for Carroll, who has the ball here, trying to regain the lead. They scored the first 4, the next 5 have belonged to Clinton Prairie. Randall, kick out Springer. Loose ball tracked down by Isley. She had the first 4, and now she has all 6 for the Carroll Cougars. Isley averaging about 10 per ball game. She's trying to get all that here in the first.
Absolutely, and that is a great sign for Carroll Cougars. Maddie Isley getting going. She's aggressive in the paint, but you see there she's got the handles of a point guard as well.
Carroll takes a 30-second timeout with $1:56 left to play. It'll be Clinton Prairie ball coming out of the stoppage. Tonight's game brought to you by Day and Genda Funeral Home, with locations in Frankfort, Flora, Mulberry, and Rossville. The compassionate and experienced staff at Day and Genda Funeral Home are dedicated to providing a loving and genuine environment for you to honor your loved one. For more information on our services and community involvement, please visit dayandgenda.com. Day and Genda Funeral Homes, where we put family first. And you see the 988 at the top of your screen, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Again, stepping on Stigma campaign tonight here for both teams representing Clinton County tonight with our friends from Healthy Communities of Clinton County. See the t-shirts that Kristen and I had on to start the ball game. You see the cheerleaders for Clinton Prairie having that as well. Same thing for the Carroll coaching staff. A touch of purple for the normal red and black clad coaching staff over there for the Clinton Prairie Gophers.
Yeah, it's an excellent cause and just something that we're passionate as well about here at ISC. It's just knocking down that stigma, making it okay to not feel okay, and making it easier for someone who's struggling to reach out for help.
Kinley Randall called for the off-ball foul. That's number 2 on her, 3rd on Carroll. Coleman is in a little bit of trouble, able to find Perez as an outlet.
And right now there's no ball movement off of the ball. And that was one thing Coach Morris talked about, is we've not only got to move the ball quickly, we've got to move ourselves quickly.
Richardson with the thievery, managed opportunity and an and one on the other end. Nice take from the sophomore Audrey Richardson.
Love to see it from Audrey Richardson. Haven't seen much of her this season, but how about that? A nice job. Just sucks Lily Coleman into the play there and draws the foul.
And she'll get the 3. After 5 straight scored by Clinton Prairie, Carroll's answer with 5 straight of their own with 90 ticks of the clock left to go here in the first.
Yeah, having a little one-on-one full court pressure there, bringing the ball up. But well done. I believe that was Emmy Kaiser from behind the arc. That's how you punish it if you can beat that pressure.
First shot of the night for the top point producer here for Clinton Prairie, but Salt to the beautiful head fake, got a flyby, and she went sashaying right to the rim.
That's just too easy against Jillian Salt. You know, you've got to be a little bit tougher than just one shot fake to keep her out of the paint.
Drive there from Aria Green, who's seen increased minutes here as of late for the Gophers.
And she's come alive as well. I think if I had to give a most improved player, it would probably go to Aria Green. I mean, she has gotten important rebounds. She's knocked down some threes as well, and it's been fun to watch her game progress this season.
Kaiser tied up on the attack from Reinhardt. And the possession arrow will hold it here with, actually, excuse me, they will hold it here with the Gophers. I apologize. Jillian Saltz threw me off. She was ready to inbound that ball and go the other way, and except our official said, no, it's on defense here for the Cougars. Off-ball screen, Kaiser free, can't find the distance from three-point range, but picking that up off the floor is the scrappy Emma Grant, who goes right into Saltz, who then forces her to lose it out of bounds.
I've got no problem with that drive into the paint by Emma Grant. I mean, talk about a freshman going up against Jillian Saltz, a little bit fearless there. But the reason I'm fine with it is you're trying to draw Saltz into some sort of foul. You know, we've seen a few games this year where she's been in foul trouble and had to sit a significant amount of time. That could be key to Clinton Prairie. So I'm totally on board with trying to attack Saltz or Reinhardt in the paint.
Reinhardt on the foul, or Reinhardt on the take, excuse me, Aria Green with the foul for Clinton Prairie. Healthy Communities of Clinton County offers free navigation services for all pregnant women. A licensed nurse is available to help you with free pregnancy tests and prenatal vitamins, insurance assistance, prenatal appointment assistance, smoking or vaping cessation, breastfeeding, labor, delivery, safe sleep, car seat, and newborn care education. Call Libby at 765-659-6063 for more information today. 1-2 trip at the line there for Reinhardt as she finds the score sheet for the first time today, and then she picks the pocket away of Emma Grant right there with the final seconds dwindling away here in our opening stanza. Saltz, corner, finding Springer on the three, does not go. Reinhardt with the rebound, nice footwork to keep that pivot foot down, and then she gets another foul and a bucket there from Eliza Reinhardt.
Beautiful work inside by Eliza Reinhardt. She gets the rebound, able to find her way through three Clinton Prairie Gophers to find the rim. And before that, you see Carroll enacting that trap defense that they like to play. So you'll see them almost ushering the point guard to the sideline into essentially a trap there. But a nice work to get the ball back and get that last shot.
Number 2 on Aria Green. Almost another steal there near midcourt. Just 2 seconds left. Perez trying to beat the horn. It dances off. And that's the end of the opening quarter. After falling behind by 1, 5-4, nice close here for the Cougars of Carroll as they lead by 7 after 1 here on the ISC Sports Network.
Healthy Communities of Clinton County is committed to reduce the risk factors contributing to chronic disease, including health disparities by decreasing stigma and encouraging positive changes. HCCC is here for the community with systems of care navigators, insurance assistance, prenatal classes, mental health programs, substance use prevention, and more. To help make the healthy choice the easy choice, contact us at 659-6063 or through our website, healthyclintoncounty.org.
Back here at Carroll High School, tonight's game presented by the Willow Creek Barn. Attention all engaged couples. Discover why the Willow Creek Barn has been voted to the Knott's Best of Weddings for 4 years in a row. Nestled just outside Frankfort, Indiana, our venue offers stunning indoor and outdoor ceremony options with breathtaking photo opportunities. We provide the perfect backdrop for your dream barn wedding. To start planning your unforgettable day, visit thewillowcreekbarn.com. Speaking of the Willow Creek Barn, I saw photos from our director Sean Walker's daughter's wedding that he shared. He cleans up pretty nice for the old wedding back in just a couple months ago last September.
Not too bad, not too shabby. Looked like a lovely wedding, and from what we know, Willow Barn does it best.
That's right. 7 points for Maddie Isley in that opening quarter to lead the way for Carroll. She had the first 4 of the ball, or the first 6 of the ball game for the Cougars, and never stopped scoring after that.
Yeah, when she gets going, she is a great scorer, especially down low.
Schroeder's 3 doesn't go. Tristan Harder, the sophomore, starting this second quarter off, and she's trying to, along with Springer, trying to track CP all the way down the floor.
You see Clinton Prairie right now trying to get into their half-court offense, trying to get into some of those sets, but the pressure that Carroll's putting on full court-wise, making it very difficult right now.
Clara Coleman against Isley, threw it right into the hands of a Carroll defender, and the Cougars with some more thievery. This one thanks to Harder. Springer loses her footing, and it's picked up by Grant. Does not have numbers, does not care, weaves her way in, but can't finish.
It's a beautiful take by Grant. A nice little step through there, just can't find the finish.
Salt's on the bench to start things off here in this second quarter. Top scorer on the season. But it's Reinhardt and Isley who had 11 of the 15 in that opening quarter. Isley just dealt it at 7.
You can see again Clinton Prairie just trying to make it difficult for Carroll to get anything entry-wise into the post. They'll play those 3 down low almost and put the pressure, forcing you basically, if you're going to play it in the post, you're going to play it into a defender.
Emma Grant on the reach-in foul right there. First one of the quarter against either team. As Kenley Cummins enters for the first time here for Clinton Prairie. Randall and Salt's back out there for the Cougars, who have the ball here on the baseline. Salt's, nice read, just pirouette between 2 defenders, but then turned and threw it off the foot of her classmate Schroeder out of bounds.
Both teams right now trying to get settled into some offense. Carroll struggling to find that post game or open perimeter looks, and Clinton Prairie doing their best to avoid this trap defense.
For the mid-range, Cummins can't find it. So both teams trying to find that scoring output here in this second quarter, and count it as Harder got into the body of a defender, drew it, and another opportunity for a 3-point play for the Carroll Cougars.
Yeah, it looks like it was Alexis Perez again. A great job hustling back, and yeah, you can clearly see that time. Does not have the angle in front of the hoop, almost a little bit on the side. Good call by the referees, but you know, it is that recovery defense you're looking for. But again, if Carroll can get their points in transition, they're going to be tough to stop.
And timeout taken by Clinton Prairie. Their first one of the night, as one of the Gopher ball handlers was caught in that corner and a double team looking for help. Tonight's game is presented by the Tier 1 Meat Company. At Tier 1 Meat Company, we take pride in delivering local source premium beef and pork. The kind of meat that honors the land, respects the craft, and fuels families with real flavor. From custom processing to mission-ready catering, we bring the firepower to elevate every meal and every moment. Founded by veterans, every cut is elite and every customer is family. Step into Tier 1 at 128 West Catherine Street in Flora, or visit us online at tier1meatco.com. So the first stoppage of the night here for Clinton Prairie comes about 90 seconds, a little over 90 seconds in to the second stanza, and they have been trying to weather this now 8-0 run here by the folks from Carroll.
And Clinton Prairie knew coming into this that Carroll was going to try and speed you up offensively, going to press, going to trap you. They had to value that first pass if they were going to almost break that press, and you've got to do it quickly. Right now, just struggling to even get into a set they're comfortable with on the offensive end.
Another turnover here by the Gophers. Again, last points for CP was that Emmy Kaser 3. It was her first shot of the night. She's only taken one other since, as Carroll's pretty much eliminated her from this game tonight. Harder from straight away. Nice step through to greatness and puts it off the window.
Beautiful take by the sophomore there, Tristan Harder, and that is a great sign for Coach Brady Wiles. He loves seeing the sophomore get aggressive, a beautiful little step through, and a nice job to focus there and finish a lay-in.
Able to split the 2 Gopher defenders right there, as Harder has all of her points here in the second. And you see Saltz right there at the top of your screen trying to keep a keen eye She got killed up. There's a 3-2 zone here. They're not tracking Case like they did back in the opening quarter. Cummins held ball as Randall tried to take the ball away with one hand.
And that's just what you cannot do against zone like that. You can't pick up the dribble. You can't stop the ball from moving. You've either got to move yourself or move the ball so that that zone is constantly shifting. Otherwise, it's way too easy to trap someone like Kenley Cummins at the top of the key.
Perez deal it in. Again, Clinton Prairie has not scored in almost 5 minutes of game time. Trying to change that with a corner three as Cummins could not. And an aggressive rebound ripped out by the returning Reinhardt. Randall taking the screen. Try to do it herself. Now Salt swings it to Schroeder. Extra pass to the red-hot Tristan Harder. Can't dial it in from three. Salt's the tallest player on the floor. Gets the rebound and a putback.
That's a beautiful look for Carroll. That's just what they want. A quick carry down the court, a few fast passes. They've got an open look at three from the corner, and then Salt's just cleaning it up on the boards.
High pass, out of bounds. Cummins tried to feed it over to Kaser, who was trying to cut across the lane. Another turnover here for the Gophers in this second quarter as they trail by a game-high 13.
Clinton Prairie going to want to battle here these last couple minutes, make it a little tighter before halftime. You know, they were down 11 points against North White at the half before they came back, but they can get hot if they get going all of a sudden.
After the turnover by Carroll, a steal from Kaser, she races to the other end and gets rewarded for her hard work with a couple of free throw opportunities.
Yeah, it's another great take here by Kaser, and she goes right at Liza Reinhardt, the junior, someone, again, that is very critical to Carroll in the post.
Tonight's game presented by Mulberry Telecommunications. Mulberry Telecommunications offers high-speed fiber optic internet, streaming TV, and telephone solutions. We are a local telecommunications cooperative that has been serving Clinton and Tippecanoe County for over 120 years. Now that we have expanded our services into Carroll County, we are excited to join your neighborhood and welcome you to our fiberhood. Learn more at www.mintel.net or call 765-296-2885. That man's head got in the way of our cameras. But you did get to see Emmy Kaser make the first free throw of the second and get Clinton Prairie on the board here in our second stanza. Active hands from Perez and two active.
Yeah, almost. It looked like they weren't going to call anything when they first got it free, and then it was that second reach in that kind of got her. You love the aggression, though. Clinton Prairie's got to try and do something a little different defensively to try and slow down this Carroll Cougars offense.
Man-to-man look here for Clinton Prairie. They were exclusively zoned back in the first. Reinhardt tried to turn the corner and got hip checked down to the floor.
And that's what someone like Reinhardt gives you is, you know, if you look at her, obviously playing a little bit more post here for Carroll, but a decent size for a guard as well. You know, no one on this Carroll Cougars team is afraid to drive at a defender and take someone on. And to me, that's a bit of the difference in the two teams offensively.
Isley, Harder, and Richardson all returning for Carroll. Inbound to Saltz. Can't finish with the left on the first time, but she does get the second one to go as Kaser got caught underneath of Saltz and got caught up in the wash.
Creative inbound play there from the Cougars. Just a little screen and then feed the screener on the block. Easy enough for Jillian Saltz.
Wamplers is a place where recycling always makes sense. Please call Wamplers at 659-3721 for all your trash, recycling, and scrap needs. Wamplers Disposal Service and Recycling, family owned since 1948. Salt's unable to cash in on that three-point opportunity as Carroll goes back to the zone defense, thrown into traffic and intercepted by Isley. Isley might have gotten away with a carry. Definitely think so if you're wearing the red and black of Clinton Prairie.
Yeah, might have gotten even a travel there on Isley.
Springer backing it out, the sophomore backup point guard. Kaser defending her. And now it's Harder's turn to operate the offense.
This is what Clinton Prairie wants to do, is slow Carroll down.
Pass into the cutting Harder, runs into her defender, and it's a charge going against Tristan Harder. That's the second one on the sophomore.
think it's a good call there by the referees. You see Harder with a nice cut originally, but how about that? I think that's a great play there by Lily Coleman to step up, plant her feet, and take the charge.
Some three-quarter court pressure here from Carroll. Kaser gets to the cross, and there's the half-court trap. Perez in traffic. Nice down low to Lily Coleman, but it's blocked by Saltz. Fought for on the floor. Tie up. Possession arrow going Clairol's way.
There it was, a sneak preview of what Clinton Prairie can do when they can beat that trap zone. And really, it's one pass out of that trap. And if you move it quick enough, you saw we had Clinton Prairie had 2 open players down on the block that time because it was a quick pass switch out of the trap. So if you can beat that one trap and move it quickly, you're going to find an open look.
Schroeder operating, then quickly deals off to Saltz. CP back in the man-to-man look here on this possession. Isley, baseline, runner goes, but wave it off.
Yep.
And another charge here against Maddie Isley. That's number 2 on the top point producer of the night here for Carroll.
And it's a heads-up play again by Coleman. Yeah, her toes stayed down. You could even zoom in on that. How about the heads-up play there? And it's smart because a player like Maddie Isley, she's going to go anyway. You know, she's that aggressive. If she has a lane to the rim, she's going up. So, again, heads-up play by Coleman. Sticks her feet there, makes the charge. Well done.
And a held ball, and Kaser got away with one there. She got tied up, even though it's going to go back to Carroll. She brought that right foot across the timeline, and then as she was getting tied up, she brought the right one back into the backcourt. So CP narrowly avoids getting called for the backcourt violation, but because the possessioner was pointing the way it was, it still ends up going back to Carroll.
And I would argue that this Carroll Cougars team is one of the best trap defenses, full court press defenses you will see in the state because they practice it so much and they're so good at reading it. You'll see as a Clinton Prairie point guards try and come up, all 5 players are on the same page to shift and go at the exact moment when they know that Clinton Prairie is going to pick up the ball. It's just a really, really good defense. Again,
so actually the possession arrow going the way for Clinton Prairie, but they couldn't find a bucket on the other end. Reinhardt stepped through, couldn't get it to go. 2 minutes left to go before recess. Clinton Prairie looking for their first field goal of the second quarter, and they get it on a 3 from Alexis Perez.
And there it is from Clinton Prairie, just moving the ball quickly. You go back against Carroll because you're able to break the full court pressure they're putting on. A great knockdown by Alexis Perez.
Saltz slowing it down. Still a double-figure lead here for Carroll. To score the first 6 points here of our second quarter to build up that game-high 13-point lead. Handoff, Reinhardt goes in, got bumped, and still able to float it home.
Eliza Reinhardt touches in the paint are a very positive sign for Carroll. They went away from it for a little bit, but again, feeding her in the paint, she's doing a nice job working her way through that Clinton Prairie zone.
Special message from our friends at Healthy Communities of Clinton County, where it is important to remember that mental health matters just as much as physical health. Taking care of your mind helps you take care of everything else. Strong individuals ask for help when they need it. Visit healthyclintoncounty.org to learn more about resources available in our community. And as always, if you need help, please call 988-24-7. Kaser open has 1-3 tonight. Can't find her second one, but it's tracked down on the baseline by Clara Coleman. Going block-to-block pass there for Green. Blocked from Saltz. That's a second rejection for Saltz tonight. Has a little 2-on-1 game. Runner and traffic goes for Kinley Randall.
That's a blueprint right there for Carroll. Dominant on the defensive end. Jillian Saltz averaging over 2 blocks a game. Gets her second one tonight, and then it's off to the races down the other way for a lay-in.
2-3 zone. They leave Kaser open, and she makes them pay with her second triple.
And this is where the upset chance stays alive. As long as Clinton Prairie is knocking down threes and finding some of those open looks, they're still in this game. They can go off. Maybe a bit of a soccer player there. Soccer player from Alexis Perez. But they can go off for some points behind the perimeter. And you see there, they're not afraid to share the ball in the post either.
We mentioned Kaser only had 1 shot, or only had 2 shots in the opening quarter because She had one defender exclusively tracking her every move. Carroll's gone away from that here in the second quarter. Wonder if the next time down the floor they might flip back to what was working so well in the first.
Yeah, and that's what they have the ability to do, is switch back and forth between two defenses just at will. And so it really does feel, if this game were to get any tighter, Carroll can switch back to that. And again, Clinton Prairie just struggling against some of that full court, three-quarter court pressure.
Randall misses at the horn. It was all Carroll in that second quarter. They went into the quarter leading by 7. They go to halftime leading by 12 over their conference foes, Clinton Prairie. We'll come back with our halftime show next here on the ISC Sports Network.
The Willow Creek Barn has been voted the best of weddings on the Knot for 4 years running. The Willow Creek Barn has earned its reputation for a reason. With breathtaking grounds, a stunning barn, and a staff that goes above and beyond, making sure that every detail is perfect, your wedding day will be seamless, joyful, and unforgettable. From the first look to the last dance, your happily ever after starts here. To book your dream wedding, visit thewillowcreekbarn.com.
Frankfurt Eagles 976, serving with the community since 1905. With over 900 members locally, Frankfurt Eagles offers something for everyone. Golf leagues, bingo, concerts, kid parties, cookouts, and more. For more information on who we are and what we do, visit FOE.com or stop by Frankfurt Eagles at 408 North Main Street, Frankfurt, Indiana.
In this town, game day starts long before kickoff. It's the work behind the scenes that makes champions. At Tier 1 Meat Company, we prep with the same focus, discipline, and pride as the hometown heroes we feed. From our block to your block, fuel every victory. Tier 1 Meat Company. Mission, feed the fans. Standard, champion quality. Scan the QR code for a game day upgrade.
If you haven't signed up for Mintel Fiber Optic Internet from Mulberry Telecommunications, then you're missing out. We have various packages to choose from and speeds up to a gig. Not to mention, each package includes a Wi-Fi 6 wireless router and access to our Mintel Smart Home app, giving you complete control of your network, backed by our award-winning customer service. Go ahead and dance till your heart's content in whatever reality you want, even if it's virtual. Mulberry Telecommunications, offering the best gig in town. Sign up today at Mintel.net and experience the Mintel difference.
Day and Ginda Funeral Home, proudly putting family first, strives to care and honor the families of Clinton and Carroll County in ways that share the loved one's story. In our effort to serve your family at the highest of quality, we have added our own crematories, one for your loved one and another crematory for your furry family members. Contact us for information on how we can serve your family. Day and Ginda Funeral Home, putting family first.
Back at Carroll High School, halftime entertainment going on for our first of two tonight here from Carroll High School, with the boys taking the floor next between Clinton Prairie and Carroll. Rick and Kristen back here with you on our mental health awareness night here from our friends at Healthy Communities of Clinton County. Thoughts on the first half here with Carroll leading by 12.
Yeah, obviously Carroll in control, and when they are turning points from the defensive into offensive points, they're in their comfort zone. The pressure is so good and the defense is so good that the offense doesn't have to be flashy, and that's what we saw from Carroll. They got into the paint, knocked down a few shots, but again, nothing too flashy. They're just turning turnovers into points. And for Clinton Prairie, Coach Cale Morris knew this was going to be the problem, was taking care of the ball and being able to withstand some of that defensive pressure. It's no secret to him. He's probably in there telling them right now, hey, if we clean this up, we've knocked down some threes, we've gotten some open looks when we have taken care of the ball. We can do that more consistently. Potentially you take away, I would say, at least 50% of the Cougars' offense.
First half segment on the thoughts of the first half of Kristen Hazley, brought to you by the Willow Creek Barn, where nature's beauty meets rustic elegance. And we talked about Carroll or Clinton Prairie having that first win of the year on Tuesday night. Well, they trailed by 11 in that first half. They got it close to a couple of possessions heading to the fourth, and they turned on the afterburners after that. So we've seen a lot out of Clinton Prairie this year, and they've been a really good second-half team. If you're Carroll, you got 7 first-quarter points from Maddie Isley, and then you start having some other people come to the party. How important is it to get Isley back going here when the second half starts?
Yeah, whether it's Isley, whether it's Tristan Harder, one of those supporting cast members needs to get going, because when that happens, they're forced to protect the rim, you know, and that's what we saw from Maddie Isley. We've seen it game after game from Kinley Randall as well. She loves the Euro step, getting into the paint. So more of that for Carroll, and it frees up, you know, some of those post plays for Eliza Reinhardt and Jillian Saltz.
More of our halftime show coming up next here on ISC.
The Willow Creek Barn has been voted the best of weddings on the knot for 4 years running. The Willow Creek Barn has earned its reputation for a reason. With breathtaking grounds, a stunning barn, and a staff that goes above and beyond, making sure that every detail is perfect, your wedding day will be seamless, joyful, and unforgettable. From the first look to the last dance, your happily ever after starts here. To book your dream wedding, visit thewillowcreekbarn.com. At Mulberry Telecommunications, it doesn't matter whether you play from home, learn from home, or work from home. We have you covered with fiber fast internet. Whether you video chat to stay connected with friends and family, or operate a small business, you can do so with the reliability that Mulberry Telecommunications fiber internet provides. From streaming video to regular web surfing, the possibilities really are endless. And that's a reason for all of us to celebrate. Packages start at just $49.95. Visit mintel.net to sign up today.
Welcome to Trinity Hope Center. Here we are actively engaged in our recovery community with a multitude of activities including peer recovery coaching, a full computer lab, grief groups, relapse prevention, pre- and postnatal support group, educational workshops for family members with addicted loved ones, expungent workshops, parent cafes, Saturday pro-social activities, recovery walk club, book club, and even video game nights. For more information, give us a call at 765-250-1845.
In this town, game day starts long before kickoff. It's the work behind the scenes that makes champions. At Tier 1 Meat Company, we prep with the same focus, discipline, and pride as the hometown heroes we feed. From our block to your block, fuel every victory. Tier 1 Meat Company. Mission, feed the fans. Standard, champion quality. Scan the QR code for a game day upgrade.
First half highlights brought to you by Mulberry Telecommunications, the best gig in town, and the first quarter belonged to Maddie Isley.
Yeah, and you see there a beautiful cut. She just has great on-court awareness, able to make some post moves and get going, as well as finding those open seams to cut through. And on the other end, it was Clinton Prairie getting things going from the field. That was really their saving grace, Rick, was being able to knock down some shots early on in that, or later on in that first quarter, early second quarter.
Nice attack there. And throwing it in was Audrey Richardson for her lone 2-point basket of the quarter and the half, and then there was Kaser getting her first look, and she canned it.
Yeah, and when she gets open and she gets going well, she is hard to stop. But you see here, this has just got to be harder on Jillian Saltz to get to the rim. It's a sloppy, slow closeout. She's too good, can just step around you like that. And then, honestly, it was Eliza Reinhardt owning the paint that entire first half. The more touches they can get her down low, the better their chances are. But was impressed with some Clinton Prairie defensive stands, took a couple charges, and were doing their best to kind of transition back and slow down that Carroll offense that loves to turn those turnovers into points.
That was one of the two Tristan Harder baskets in that first half. Carroll had multiple and one opportunities in our opening 16 minutes. Saltz got going, scoring 4, her 6 in the second quarter. But a little bit late on the rotation, Perez got open for her second 3 as she tried to keep Clinton Prairie within striking distance, but Reinhardt off the handoff, got bumped, and there she is finishing through contact. So again, scores in the first half. Isley led the way with 7 for Carroll, tied with Kaser, who also had 7 for Clinton Prairie. Reinhardt and Saltz each had 6. Randall with 2, Harder with 4, and Richardson with 2 for Carroll. 2 for Grant, 6 for Perez. And that was it for our scoring in the opening half. We'll take a break, come back, and we'll be back with our second half next here on the ISC Sports Network.
The Willow Creek Barn has been voted the best of weddings on the knot for 4 years running. The Willow Creek Barn has earned its reputation for a reason. With breathtaking grounds, a stunning barn, and a staff that goes above and beyond, making sure that every detail is perfect, your wedding day will be seamless, joyful, and unforgettable. From the first look to the last dance, your happily ever after starts here. To book your dream wedding, visit thewillowcreekbarn.com.
Second half about to get underway here from Carroll High School. First game of our girls and boys basketball doubleheader tonight between Clinton Prairie and the aforementioned Cougars of Carroll. Here at the break, it's Carroll leading 27-15. Second half adjustments are presented by JXN Stump Solutions, rooted in service, driven to remove. If you're one of these coaches, what would you like to remove from the first half and insert here in the second half, Kristen?
Well, Clinton Prairie would love to remove Carroll's full court trap defense, but I don't think that's going to happen. So the next best thing is trying to limit some of those live ball turnovers. You know, really that's where they gave up a majority of the points in the first half, was off their own turnovers on the offensive end. And for Carroll, you know, and not too many notes from me, you know. I would say you're doing a nice job spreading the ball. Obviously, the defense dominating that first half. So, you know, they have players there that can get hot and go off for some of them. But, again, they just haven't had to do anything too flashy on the offensive side of the court to build up this lead.
Starters back on the floor here for Carroll, and Randall, Isley, Reinhardt, Saltson, Schroeder. And Clinton Prairie looks they'll be countering with their starters as well. Lily Coleman, Emma Grant, Emmy Kaser, Clara Coleman, and Alexis Perez. So I mentioned these two teams met up last year. It was Clinton Prairie that won during the regular season, but Carroll won by one on their way to the sectional championship last year. Last 25 years, it's been Clinton Prairie holding a slight edge, 17 wins and just 12 losses. 3-ball from Randall. Long rebound out to Kaser. Here comes the athleticism from the freshman galloping to the other end, but Salt's able to track her down and take away the easy layup.
Way to start a half right there. Well done by Clinton Prairie. And we mentioned the previous matchups, and it's worth noting, you know, this is a very young Clinton Prairie team. There was a lot of turnover from last year's team that did, well done, really well in the postseason. But, you know, you see Lily Coleman there getting the and one. She is the lone senior on this team. Everyone else pretty much freshman and sophomore.
Second one on Reinhardt. But a nice job, as Kristen mentioned there, with Coleman boxing out her defender to take the baseline entry pass. Unable to cash in on that free throw opportunity, but almost able to tie up Reinhardt from the weak side. Here comes Carroll to the front court. Reinhardt trails, and Randall found her. Isley going baseline. Grant with those active hands cuts her off and forces the ball out of bounds.
It's good recovery defense there by the Gophers. Not able to find the conversion on the other end, but a good job transitioning back and getting into their defensive shape.
Off-ball cut got Reinhardt free. She lost it, got it back, taken away from two different Gopher defenders, and Reinhardt gets Carroll on the board here in the third.
If you give her the ball when she's got 2 feet in the paint, she is going to be tough to stop for the Carroll Cougars.
Kaser taking the long pass with 5 pairs of eyes looking at her from the Carroll defense, and open is Emma Grant, and she finds the bottom on a 3.
And this is what Clinton Prairie needs. If they keep that 3-point option alive, you know, you see there, that's Emma Grant that time. Multiple different 3-point shooters. We saw Perez hit a few. You'll see Kaser hit a few. So that is the way that this Clinton Prairie team can claw their way back into this.
9-point deficit here for CP. They trailed by as many as 13 back in that opening half. Out to the volleyball line, Isley. Finds Schroeder on the wing for a 3. Short, and then right between the legs of Coleman. In front of the Clinton, or in front of the Carroll students. They are beside themselves, but Coleman does have the ball go right between her knees and out of bounds clean.
I don't think I've seen anything like that, because Coleman was boxed out too. She had Schroeder boxed out and then just must not have touched anything, straight through both of their legs.
You can see the shock on her face that she couldn't even believe that ball didn't graze her a little bit. An aggressive take from Emma Grant once again, and this freshman has been a real energy booster for the Gophers this year.
Yeah, and she's really been forced into that point guard role. You know, a bit of a competition for some playing time at that spot for these Gophers, but Emma Grant is fearless, she's scrappy, and you see there she's not afraid to drive at players that are taller than her.
We mentioned it was a nice second half comeback Tuesday night for Clinton Prairie to pick up their first win of the year after losing their first 15, and they've started off on the right foot here in this third quarter, now trimming the deficit now down to 7.
Yeah, I think it would be fair to call this Clinton Prairie team a second half team. With that being said, haven't seen a full court pressure yet from Carroll.
Salts able to get the screen and roll. And the lead back to 9. Breathing room here. Now 30-second timeout here for Carroll, their second one of the night.
And again, it's just too easy for Salts. You know, her and Reinhardt are just exceptional players that if you give them a little bit of breathing room anywhere near the paint, they're going to make the most of that opportunity.
You see the special shirt saying stay, and your story isn't over on the front and back tonight, worn by the Carroll coaching staff. Again, part of our 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline Awareness, Mental Health Awareness Night here with our friends from Healthy Communities of Clinton County. Remember, checking in on your teammates, friends, and family can make all the difference. Great teams look out for one another, not just in this game, but in life. We're all here to support you on your mental health journey. Support is available. Visit healthyclintoncounty.org to learn more.
One thing I love about that, Rick, is a lot of times in the sports world, now we're really starting to recognize mental health as a full part of a player's health.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you look at obviously someone like Kevin Love coming out and creating some space for people to talk about that, or Simone Biles in the Olympics. You know, you look at the new Unrivaled League down in Miami, and they have some of these mental health professionals on staff because mental health is a part of your overall health. And, you know, even at the professional level, they're doing the things that they need to take care of it. So, you know, no shame in reaching out if you need help. Everyone does at some point. But just something important to note with the stigma is, you know, even the highest of high people are having some of these issues and are getting help.
And I think another important thing is Isley drives and gets her first basket since the opening quarter. Is that what the part that we just read is that, you know, make the phone call, send the text to that friend that maybe you haven't talked to in a while. You don't know if that could lift them up for just that day or maybe take them out of the dumps they've been in for a week or so. You never know what just that, hey, how you doing? Just wanted to check in, thought about you today. Even if it's just a text as simple as that, can go an incredibly long way.
Yeah, absolutely. You never know, you know, what battle someone is fighting, especially sometimes those people closest to us. And it's amazing, like you said, just a simple act. It might not seem like much to you, but it might mean the world to someone else.
Quick little burst. A 4-0 spurt here for Carroll as they have the lead back up to double figures.
They're really protecting the perimeter on defense here, which is fine, but when they get into this two-man game, Salts down to the post is going to be an issue.
Lee Coleman went full extension, cut off Reinhardt's passing lane. Trying to find the baseline, weaving her way through, unable to bank it home was Isley. There's Reinhardt underneath, and she puts it home.
And Isley again with the drive. Reinhardt just cleaning up on the offensive boards for the 2 points there.
6-0 run, and Isley with the steal, trying to make it more. She goes in, and she does. Isley with 11. And a timeout on the floor with 4.5 remaining here in the third. Biggest lead of the night here for Carroll as it's up to 15. Tonight's game presented by Davis Comfort Solutions. At Davis Comfort Solutions, we understand that your comfort is important. That's why our team of highly experienced technicians will thrive to be your go-to when it comes to your home, shop, or business's heating and cooling needs. For more info on financing and special offers, visit us online at daviscomfortsolutions.com.
And really, Carroll coming out, putting that pressure back on as soon as Clinton Prairie had a decent start to the quarter. And you saw there on the last one, Maddie Isley just picking the pocket and going to the hoop. Yeah, it's just that pressure, and it's because she's got no options. I mean, again, I said it at half, but this Carroll defense is one of the best that I have seen this season, and just with how precise it is and how quick they are to enact it.
You mentioned the sectional champions a year ago. They had run into a little bit of a rough spot here as of late before that victory over Sheridan. They lost against Western Boone, Lewis Cass, and Delphi, but they had a really long break, Kristen, after those two losses to Western Boone and Lewis Cass. They played those 2 days before Christmas. Then their first game back after the Christmas holiday was the loss to Delphi a week ago tonight.
Yeah, obviously trying to get back into a little bit of rhythm, looking good tonight. But that is something obviously Coach Wiles is aware of. You know, they know that they need to be playing their best basketball towards that sectional time. And so that's sort of what they're going to rev themselves back up to throughout the next couple weeks.
Grant whistled for the travel. And we talked with Cale Morris this morning. He was really happy with how the schedule is going to shake out here towards the end of the year, particularly coming off that first win Tuesday and trying to ramp it up here for the sectional coming up at the beginning of February.
Yeah, and I've been kind of saying this all season as we've had this Clinton Prairie team. They're a lot better than their record shows. I mean, we've had them in some buzzer beater situations here on ISC Sports, and I tell you what, they are just much better. I'm so happy that they got that first win, but this is a team that we've seen a ton of growth from. It should be validating for them, and that's what Coach Morris said, is they're finally playing with some confidence, and it's well-deserved after the season they've had.
Lily Coleman, the lone senior on the roster this year for Clinton Prairie. Younger sister Claire just picked up her third personal foul on the attack from Randall. As Aria Green in here for the Gophers. Randall, a 57% free throw shooter on the year, and cannot get the home court bounce.
Down right away, right to the trap. And I think, Clinton Prairie is going to face that probably the rest of the way here in this game. And Carroll just almost using it as a fitness exercise to make sure, they can do it when they need to. But it's so difficult. We've seen team after team struggle against this full court pressure defense.
Coming over to help with Salt. She deflected the pass from Grant, but then Emma Grant takes the ball right back. A long pass from the sideline to the block looking for Kaser. Sent out of bounds by a hand of Carroll. 10 unanswered here for the Cougars to take their 7-point lead, now up to a game-high 17. L. Coleman to Grant. Kaser in the corner, looks right into the eyes of Richardson, who takes away all of her airspace. Step through Kaser, and she took one too many steps.
Yeah, you love the idea of driving into the paint there, getting into the heart of that Carroll defense. One extra step, and then it's definitely not easy that Carroll has the height that they do. Not a lot of options up high when you get into the paint.
Saltz operating here, fakes the handoff, turns right down Main Street and got fouled, but a beautiful individual effort there from Jillian Saltz running the Carroll offense.
And she is night after night just consistent for them down on that block. I mean, we mentioned earlier she's good for over 2 blocks per game. So when you have her with Reinhardt, I mean, those two players alone are averaging 4 blocks per game. So talk about some rim control and protection.
Tonight's game is brought to you by JXN Stump Solutions. Tired of unsightly tree stumps ruining your yard? Let us take care of it. We've got the equipment and experience to get the job done right. We offer 3 tiers of service that will rejuvenate your yard, all at competitive, budget-friendly rates. Call 765-242-9523 today for a free estimate. JXN Stump Solutions, rooted in service, driven to remove. Saltz knocks them both down. She's the third Cougar to get into double figures here tonight. And a bump out near midcourt by Audrey Richardson. First foul on her. But the Cougars of Carroll have flipped the switch. 12 straight now. Here for the 11-5 bunch wearing white. After a good start to this third quarter here by a young and spirited Clinton Prairie group. Grant throws that one into the cheerleaders.
Yeah, she had the man open there down on the block, just could not get the pass around. Again, you feel like they're maybe limiting turnovers, but it's just this defense, Carroll, whether they're getting you on, a jump ball or just like this, one entry pass into the post.
Harder out. Richardson couldn't find the 3. Harder with the offensive rebound, twirled underneath, and got too far underneath the rim to find a good angle. Grant pushing the issue here for Clinton Prairie, coming off their first win of the season after dropping the first 15 of the year. Carroll won Monday night on the road at Sheridan in convincing fashion, winning by 16. Getting that bad taste out of their mouth after losing 3 in a row coming into that contest. Up the floor, Springer stomps on the break. Schroeder trails, was hoping to find someone on the left wing, but saw no one home. Instead gives to Richardson for a drive and a pull-up.
Beautiful move there by the sophomore. Just gets 2 feet into the paint. Beautiful turn, great awareness. Goes with a little hook step shot.
14 in a row put in here by Carroll. Schroeder collided into out near midcourt. As she and Grant collided. That'll bring Isley back in off the bench as Schroeder gets called for the foul.
You know, we talk about the growth and the youth that this Clinton Prairie team has, but I mean, you consider this Emma Grant handling the ball all night against this full court press as a freshman. You know, you got to keep that in mind that this is her first time playing against something like that, and I think she's done a nice job for them trying to break that press. But again, something that Coach Cale Morris is well aware of that they're building for the future, and he's got a good set of cornerstones here on this team.
Coach Morris at the top of your screen talking it over with one of our officials tonight, I think trying to figure out maybe the extent of the foul or why it was just a common foul. But play restarts. Another long scoring drought here for Clinton Prairie, and it's going to continue. No, as Grant able to dive for the loose ball on the floor and keep it here with the Gophers. Perez battling, dishing off to Kaser. Thrown into traffic as El Coleman able to draw the reach-in foul. That's number 2 on Audrey Richardson.
Yeah, and that's one thing the Gophers will beat just about any team on is those scrappy 50-50 balls. That's how they've made some comebacks in a lot of their games is some of that defensive aggression, but they're doing a nice job of battling for the ball and keeping it on their end.
Kaser, catch and shoot 3, got it. So I thought they got the reach-in foul there on Richardson. That actually that was called the held ball, because that would have been the foul against Carroll. It would have been the 5th one, and now here is the 5th one on the Cougars. So free throws about to commence for the rest of the quarter here for CP.
And this is where Carroll has to be careful with that pressure now, because if you do get a little bit lazy, a little bit handsy on that full court pressure, now you're sending Clinton Prairie to the line. The one thing, you know, they've shot free throws pretty decently down the stretch. Obviously, always room to improve, but that is something that Carroll risks now going into this full court press in the bonus.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the Frankfort Eagles, Post 976, serving our community since 1905. With over 900 members locally, the Frankfort Eagles offer something for everyone. For more information on who they are and what they do, please visit FOE.com or stop by 408 North Main Street in Frankfort. So Kaser with the 3 ball, but misses both free throws on that trip. As again, scoring has been hard to come by here in the last handful of minutes here for CP.
And you figured Carroll was going to make a run, you know, fueled by that pressure and tempo at some point. I didn't really expect it to this extent, you know, just really flexing their muscles right now on their defensive prowess.
14 zip before the Kaser 3. Reinhardt runs into trouble and drew a foul in a shooting variety, so she'll go to the line for 2.
Between, you know, Eliza Reinhardt, Jillian Saltz, we've seen some of the aggression of, you know, some of their guards like Maddie Isley and Randall, but Carroll has dominated the paint, especially offensively, and that is, you know, was always going to be the uphill battle here for the Gophers.
After missing her first free throw of the night, Reinhardt has ripped off 3 in a row. She's up to a game-high tying 11, along with Isley. And that one won't stay down. 80 seconds remaining here in the third. Clinton Prairie scored 7 of the first 9 points to cut the deficit down to 7 at 29-22. After that, it was an offensive onslaught for Carroll. Kaser goes in, shot partially blocked by Isley and a teammate, and here come the Cougars the other way.
Like the idea from Clinton Prairie there, and Kaser driving into the paint. Just cannot find the open shot from the drive.
Harder at the controls. Now Randall taking a turn here as we dip below a minute to go in quarter number 3. Saltz around a screen in the corner. Nice one-hand catch from the youngster Randall. Nice entry pass, posting up, but able to convert was Reinhardt, and a foul underneath. We'll see if they got Reinhardt there, and it looks like they have.
Yeah, and Reinhardt, it's just a delayed roll from the pick she sets for Saltz on the perimeter. Saltz goes to her right. Reinhardt just slowly rolls open towards the hoop, and then it was a 2-pass find to find her down on the block. But one of those offensive sets that Coach Cale Morris, was well aware of. Very complimentary of this Carroll team that, they play an offensive set that's very dangerous at times, hard to defend. Really just, you see the wrinkle of it there on that one.
So that's number 4 on Reinhardt. She has to exit. Again, she takes her 11 points to the bench with her. 3 in double figures for Carroll here with still a quarter left to play. And Lily Coleman on the board from the free throw line for the first time tonight. She's up to 3 points. Carroll might want to hold for the final shot there. Pass was off target to Isley, but Carroll does not turn it over thanks to Randall, who goes up and in over 2 defenders. And a tie up here underneath between Isley and Green. Hold it here with Carroll for the final 25.2.
Carroll hanging in there, trying to find an open look down on the block.
Here comes Saltz attacking. She got a hip bump there from Lily Coleman that jarred the ball free. And that's the 5th one on Clinton Prairie, and so free throws here for Jillian Saltz, as both teams now in the bonus.
You would say if there was an Achilles heel to this Carroll Cougars team, it's probably the free throw percentages. And we all know how critical those can be, especially in some postseason games.
That's the 6th missed free throw of the night here for Carroll, but they're able to throw it in as Schroeder finds her first basket.
When you get the offensive rebounds, though, it doesn't really matter. It was up by Schroeder. Weird angle to get that in, but she cleans up.
Perez with just 5 seconds left to go for Clinton Prairie here in the 3rd. Looking for help. Shot got blocked. Randall picks it up. She let it go from midcourt. It would not be good if it went. And we go to the 4th. Carroll with a big-time run here in the 3rd to push their lead up to 20. 1 quarter play left here from Carroll High School next.
Healthy Communities of Clinton County is committed to reduce the risk factors contributing to chronic disease, including health disparities by decreasing stigma and encouraging positive changes. HCCC is here for the community with systems of care navigators, insurance assistance, prenatal classes, mental health programs, substance use prevention, and more. To help make the healthy choice the easy choice, contact us at 659-6063 or through our website, healthyclintoncounty.org.
It was a 14-0 run for Carroll after seeing their lead dwindle down to 29-22 that have given them a comfortable lead as we head to the 4th as they lead by 20, looking to get their 2nd straight win in a row against Clinton Prairie after knocking off the Gophers in the opening round of last year's sectional championship tournament that Carroll ended up winning before getting bounced in the regional.
And this was going to be a tough one for Clinton Prairie, but one they thought they could make competitive and still time to do so. But, Coach Morris said, and quote-unquote, the big thing is to handle the ball. And they've just not been able to do that against some of the high-pressure defense that the Carroll Cougars have played tonight.
Clinton Prairie with the ball first. They're on the road black. And they have their 5 starters on the floor. Same thing over there for Carroll. Final quarter of play of our first game of 2 tonight here from Carroll High School with the boys of Clinton Prairie and Carroll locking up coming up next. Kaser was calling for it, but after going to that box and one or just putting Kaser on an island back in the opening quarter, Carroll's gone away from it here since then, but it hasn't hurt them too bad at all, as you can see by the score.
No, and it has probably honestly benefited them because they did go from that box and one to either that full court one-on-one pressure or that trap 3-quarter court that they are just so good at turning on and off.
Kaser elevates above the defense, and she's up to 12 going up and over the trees.
And Kaser, another one of those freshmen that Coach Morris is excited to have for a few years. And you can see there, no fear in her. Freshman goes into the paint, able to find a knockdown.
Her volleyball head coach, Kathy Martin, called her a spark plug this year in her rookie campaign. She led the Gophers in kills during the fall on the volleyball court.
there's a pretty big correlation of volleyball players to basketball players. Just in general, I think about it. Like Cameron Brink, I'm pretty sure she was a volleyball player.
My favorite story that I've heard her tell is that when she went in for a checkup when she was just a wee young lady, the doctor said, "Well, you're probably not going to be 5. You're only going to be about 5'10". And both of her parents are like 6'8" and 6'5". And she's like 10 years old, and she's like, "Nah, that's not going to be right." And then like the next year, she got to be 6'2". And I was like,
"Sounds about right."
It's like, my man. I was like, I know you went to school for about 10 years, but that just seems off.
You don't need a PhD in genetics to figure that one out.
No, if you got eyes, you're like, she's probably going to be tall. Just a hunch. Salts, baseline attempt, weaving away from pressure. This is Schroeder. Cannot bank it in from 3, but Salts goes right up and over the shoulder. Kaser then ducks that shoulder in for 2.
Excellent job by the Cougars on that position, sharing the ball, making the extra pass, and Jillian Salts just cleaning up on the board with an easy lay-in.
Perez almost threw it into the CP bench. Again, wearing special purple quarter zips tonight in honor of Mental Health Awareness Night here from our friends at Healthy Communities of Clinton County. Randall with the steal and a fast break layup on the other end.
That has been one piece that Kinley Randall has added to this Carroll Cougars team in general, is being able to play that defensive pressure that we've talked about, but turn around and finish in the paint on the other end.
Richardson with the foul, 70 feet away from the basket. See Madison German Potter, number 5, back out or on the floor for the first time tonight here for Clinton Prairie. She's missed significant time, battling a real bad sickness coming out of the Christmas break. Coach Morris telling us it's just starting to kind of get her legs back underneath her.
And that's one of the few returning players that they did have from last season. So, you know, that's been an uphill battle for them as well, not having her full strength.
Isley picks up number 4, and that's a sophomore mistake, committing that foul after taking one too many steps, getting caught underneath the hoop, and then committing that foul so far away from the basket.
Yeah, Maddie Isley, another one of those players I would describe as a spark plug for this Carroll team. I think I've used the word scrappy before to describe her as well. We've seen her foul out 1 or 2 times, you know, but it's the effort that she brings and it's the energy that she brings, whether they're on offense or defense, that makes her critical.
Led the way with the first 6 points of the ball game for Carroll back in the opening quarter. Finished with 7 in the opening paragraph. It's time for the team for a second on the team tonight with 11. Salt's the leader in scoring with 12, and tried to add to it there, and her shot got blocked out of bounds.
I think it was Kaiser doing a nice job hustling back. Salt's going to dump that off there. They had a 3-on-2 going the other way, but you never complain about Jillian Salt's taking it to the rim.
Isley having to be careful playing with the 4 fouls, and then she lost the ball out of bounds. It's going back to Clinton Prairie. Tonight's game presented by Laser Edge. Laser Edge Turf and Excavation keeps your property looking sharp and projects moving forward. From mowing and lawn fertilization to directional boring, trenching, and excavation, we deliver precision and reliability every time. Cutting clean, digging deep, building strong. And the Salts foul out near midcourt. First one against her tonight.
And for the amount of defensive pressure that Carroll plays with, they do a nice job of not fouling a ton. There's a lot of teams that would try and play either that trap defense or that full court pressure and would just be riddled with foul trouble.
Salts challenging the Coleman shot. Lily missed it. German Potter there for the miss. Pivoting is MGP. Kaser in the corner. She gets tied up with Randall. And it stays here. Tonight's game has been brought to you by the Willow Creek Barn. Attention all engaged couples. Discover why the Willow Creek Barn has been voted the Knott's Best of Weddings for 4 years in a row. Nestled just outside Frankfort, Indiana, our venue offers stunning indoor and outdoor ceremony options with breathtaking photo opportunities. We provide the perfect backdrop for your dream barn wedding. To start planning your unforgettable day, visit thewillowcreekbarn.com. Bradley Springer entering for Carroll. 0 and white at the bottom of your screen. Right into Kaser. Salts comes in and deflects the shot. trying to block that shot with her elbow. Walking the tightrope is Lily Coleman, and another three, and wide open Emmy Kaser. If you're going to leave her open, it's going to be 3 points going up for the Gophers.
It's a great find there and a beautiful, confident shot from Kaser. Can they stop him down the other end?
Kaser trying to rip it away from Reinhardt, put her shoulder into her and trying to clear that space out as Kaser with a game-high 15 right now.
And Madison German Potter coming off the bench, got a big rebound down that last trip down the court. A big piece coming off the bench, adding to what this Gopher team is trying to do on defense.
Tonight's game presented by Healthy Communities of Clinton County. A balanced approach to training includes not only physical conditioning, but also mental and emotional self-care. Individuals who prioritize their mental and emotional health are better equipped to manage stress and maintain healthy relationships. Let's prioritize mental well-being and make assessing help easier than ever. Spread the word about 988 and other resources because every person here deserves the support they need to thrive. Again, the special shirts worn by the cheerleaders over at Clinton Prairie tonight, the coaching staff over at Carroll, and folks in the stand side as well, raising awareness about mental health, the importance of it, and how to reach out to not only your teammates on your team, but also your friends, coworkers, relatives, just to make sure and check in, just to say, hey, just wanted to check in. I was thinking about you. Hope you're doing okay. You'd be amazed at how those small, just a couple of words can really open things up and make things and folks just feel a little bit more comfortable out talking about some hard conversations, but conversations that need to be had from time to time.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of times some of these mental health diagnoses feed off of, you know, your negative thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
So you thinking no one's thinking about me, or you thinking, you know, we don't want you here, whatever it might be. And so it is that much more important to reach out. You know, the opposite, you know, I've shared before on broadcasting that, you know, I'm in recovery 6 years from alcohol, and we like to say, you know, the opposite of addiction is not sobriety. The opposite of addiction is connection. Mm-hmm. And so I think that goes for all mental health aspects. Is, you know, the connection does a lot for us. It checks our own thoughts. It encourages us and brings a lot of positivity into our lives.
Beautifully said.
Thank you. I'm good at talking about stuff.
Well, we knew that. I'm sorry that you put the ball right on the tee, and that is.
Yeah. Greg always likes to say, you know, I was playing soccer and talking to myself for about 20 years before he found me. Decided I could do it on TV.
And now you get paid for it, aren't you?
Beautiful.
It's funny how those things work out.
If only my mother would have known.
My mother tells me the same. She goes, you know, you start talking at the age of 2 and you haven't stopped since.
I mean, she probably wouldn't have told me to shut up as much.
If only our mothers knew what type of careers that you and I would have, just from running our mouths for all these years.
My mom's just happy I have a job. Let's be honest.
My mother is standing right shoulder to shoulder with yours. Here's a
shout out, moms.
Shout out, moms. Yeah. Shout out. Foul in the backcourt by Olivia Schroeder. Actually make that on Reinhardt, so her night has come to a close. Finishes with 13 points. That's also number 5 on Carroll as well.
Yeah, Carroll just showing, you know, again, they haven't hit a lot of threes.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't been, you know, an insane solo performance by one player. They have just been solid on defense and have turned Clinton Prairie's turnovers into points. It's pretty much as simple as that, and really just flexing their muscles, showing everyone else what they can do on defense and moving into the postseason.
And that sectional champion, or that sectional draw, comes up a week from this Sunday on IHSAA.tv. Like Krista mentioned, our boss Greg Rickstrom will be hosting that over at IHSAA TV. Worked with Jane Schott last night. She's putting together and helping get everything ready to go for that girls basketball tournament. Celebrated 50 years of girls basketball a year ago. And a lot of exciting things happening. A lot of people looking forward to the 51st girls basketball state tournament that'll start here just a couple of weeks at the beginning of February.
Yeah, and if you're a sports history nerd like I am, I highly recommend going to the IHSAA Facebook page. Jane did an excellent series last year for the 50th anniversary, touching, you know, with different female basketball players, different history points, everything. It was an amazing series. I really enjoyed watching it and learned a lot. So if you're a Hoosier Hysteria, maniac, I would absolutely suggest checking that out.
I believe they might also be on the YouTube page as well. And I think so a couple different ways to find that great work that Jane did. Got to talk to one of my former classmates, former Miss Basketball Amber Harris, class of North Central 2006, was on a little Zoom chat with Amber.
Yeah, we are spoiled when it comes to basketball players, obviously, around here in the state, for males and females. Obviously, Jane being one of them in the earlier times. But, look at Katie Gerald's at Purdue. My favorite basketball player when I was growing up, Ruth Riley up at Notre Dame. That was the first team I really fell in love with. Muffet McGraw. Then I had Tennessee on the back of my closet for a little bit with Pat. And we don't have to tell those two. I was double teaming it. It's fine.
Yeah, it's okay. It's you were young.
We had Candace Parker up in Chicago. Really, just not a lack of awesome women basketball players to watch growing up.
Well, and Carroll had one of their better players graduate a couple of years back, in Allie Harness, now at Western Michigan. Also had Madison Wagner, who's at D3 Trine. And so you look at all levels. It's not just the big schools. You can go Class A to Class 4A, and you're going to find high-level players that are going to be playing in college, whether it's the D1 to D3, NAI, JUCO, all that good stuff. It is, if you like basketball, you find a team near you, pay your $5, go, and you'll be entertained for the night for sure.
I would even argue that DePaul women's program out in Greencastle is better than a handful of Division I programs, to be fair with you. They've built really a legacy out there, and my brother played there on the men's side for Coach Fenlon, so I'm a big fan of that program in general. But what the women have been able to do, and their sort of reputation around Division III basketball is extremely impressive.
Neal Fieldhouse had a chance to call a couple of games there a couple of weeks ago. That is an underrated venue. That is a fun barn to be in over there in Greencastle.
Were the cat dancers there?
They were not.
Okay. Well, Nana used to love the cat dancers. My grandmother walked around with a shirt, had a picture of my brother on it, said, "My grandson, he's single." Yeah. He's happily married now, but I don't know if Nana hooked that one up or not.
Nana was trying to help out. Nana's a team player.
She just wanted, great grandbabies or something. Her favorite shirt, though. Wore it all the way down to conference championships down in Georgia. Shirt's been around.
My follow-up question, were there multiple shirts to get a rotation, or was it just the one shirt that we just rocked with?
Yeah, she had a DePaul grandma one that was much more official.
Naturally.
It was clear that she had paid my cousin to iron on this
picture
picture
back
of
in the
my
iron-on
brother or
days,
something. Yeah, it was, but it was a gem. She loved to just prance around Neal Fieldhouse, and she talks to everyone, if you know my Nana. So,
I wonder where you get it from. Weird. Weird.
Again, my mom would say it skips a generation.
Well, it's spot on. Spot on. Also a gem, the South Fork Restaurant. Dine in or carry out. The South Fork Restaurant is known for daily lunch and dinner specials, fresh, never frozen whole catfish, hand-battered tenderloins, and award-winning onion rings. The kitchen is open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. Come join us at 105 South Glick Street in Mulberry, Indiana, or visit southforkpub.com for our latest menu options.
Elijah had some catfish from South Fork the other night.
Young Elijah, who's running our camera tonight, and I will say this because he can't defend himself right now, he got duped by the South Fork menu. He ordered the breaded tenderloin sandwich, made a rookie mistake, did not order the half, and the tenderloin was as big as his head. He opened it up with shock and bewilderment, and I said, "Well, at least you have something to eat in the second half, don't you?" And he goes, "Yep." He didn't eat it all in one try.
Yeah, there's not enough room. Elijah's a bit of a skinny gent.
He's a thin fella.
Yeah.
But he's fast.
Yeah.
Like lightning.
True.
So Carroll will pick up their second straight win against Clinton Prairie. There's a couple of reserves in here getting that much-needed time. That's Adele Stefan trying to put her name on the score sheet. Rebounded by Lily Thomas. Trying to get a second opportunity here. Randall came in and ripped it away. Held ball, stops the clock with 41.5 seconds left to go. And it was a 12-point halftime lead for Carroll. Clinton Prairie got it down to 7, but just couldn't really replicate that magic that they had in the second half, picking up that first win of the year on Tuesday as Carroll used that 14-0 run to put this thing out of reach.
Yeah, and like we said earlier, you knew it was going to come down to that pressure versus the ball security that Clinton Prairie could show. Both coaches knew that. Both coaches knew the game plan, and when it came down to it, Carroll just went on 2 really nice runs fueled by that pressure and by that pace that they're so good at playing with.
So the Gophers will fall to 1-16 on the year, 0-6 in the Hoosier Heartland Conference. Carroll improves to 12-5. They get to 4-2, and also in the Hoosier Heartland Conference, trying to break that 4-way tie for third with Delphi, Tri-Central, and Sheridan. Just a half game back of the Bulldogs of Clinton Central, but tonight it's Carroll victorious by 20 over Clinton Prairie, 54-34. We're back at the post-game show next here on the ISC Sports Network.
Frankfurt Eagles 976 has bingo every Wednesday night. Early birds beginning at 6 p.m. and regular bingo starting at 7 p.m. Packets are $25 and includes every game you need to play. They also have Saturday bingo the first Saturday of every month, with early birds starting at 4 p.m. and regular bingo starting at 5 p.m. Big game payouts each game with 3 to 4 chances to win different jackpot games each day. Great for individuals or groups because everyone enjoys winning lots of money. You must be 18 years or older to play.
Post-game show brought to you by the Willow Creek Barn, where nature's beauty meets rustic elegance. Rick and Kristen back here with you. Gophers take a 12-point lead at half, and they finish with a 20-point victory here this evening against Clinton Prairie. Thoughts on the Cougars' second win in a row?
Well, they stuck to the game plan and showed what they can do really well. They can play that box and one and sit back and make things difficult, or they can step up and put on that full court pressure mixed in with that trap defense they play in the half court. And you know what? If it's going to be really tough to solve all three if you're one of the opposing teams against Carroll.
Our player of the game tonight is presented by the Frankfurt Eagles, and it's the senior leader for Carroll, Jillian Saltz. She had 6 points at halftime. She puts 8 up in the second half. She finishes with a team high 14 tonight for Carroll.
Yeah, and that's about her average every night, and they are impactful points. It's not just those points per game, but it is the rebound she brings. It's the 3 blocks that she brings each night, some of the defensive intensity she shows. And right now, Jillian Saltz really leading this team as the senior captain that she is, and hoping to propel this team a little bit later into the postseason.
So a special moment here from our friends at Healthy Communities of Clinton County, talking about mental health awareness as members of both the boys and girls basketball teams at Carroll and Clinton Prairie come out before our boys game gets going. Tonight's game has been brought to you in parts by our friends at Healthy Communities of Clinton County. Thank you for supporting mental health awareness tonight through the Stepping on Stigma campaign at Healthy Communities. Together we can help break the stigma. If you or someone you care about needs help, text 988 is available to call, or text 24/7-365. Healthy Communities is also available right here in our community. You can learn more online at healthyclintoncounty.org. Special thanks to our director, Sean Walker, camera operator, Elijah Mash. Graphics was Adam Clendenning, along with Kristen Hazley. I'm Rick Johnston. Stay tuned. Our boys game between Clinton Prairie and Carroll coming up in about 25 minutes.
The Willow Creek Barn has been voted the best of weddings on the Knot for 4 years running. The Willow Creek Barn has earned its reputation for a reason. With breathtaking grounds, a stunning barn, and a staff that goes above and beyond, making sure that every detail is perfect, your wedding day will be seamless, joyful, and unforgettable. From the first look to the last dance, your happily ever after starts here. To book your dream wedding, visit the Willow Creek Barn